Hi, welcome to this screencast looking at sketch maps and use of sketch maps. You can get asked to either complete or interpret sketch maps in the examination, and therefore you need to be able to look at the different skills and interpret them in a range of different ways. So, how you do this is entirely up to you, but the key thing is to look at whatever they're giving you and use it accurately. So here we've got an OS map on our left hand side, and what we're going to try and do here is hopefully we're going to try and actually add some information through just a simple use of our mouse. Now what we can see here is that we've got the A road running down and we've got the coastline, so we're going to need to pick out the two key features. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw on the A road. Okay, and then that allows us to actually draw this simple sketch. We're then going to draw on the coastline, which will then enable us to show off that part of the sketch as well. And you could get asked to do this in the examination so that you're actually then picking out these key features. Now you'll notice that this is really a rough approximation, and then what we're going to look to do is just add in any other key features that we feel are important. So we've got this island out here which we're going to add on, and we've got the island over here as well which we're going to add in as well. So we've got these different features. Now if you were given this map, the kind of thing they could ask you to do is, say, shade in the area of forestry. So we can quickly do that now, and all we need to do is draw on the area of forestry as accurately as you can, and the key thing is here is to use the ordnance, the contour lines and the grid lines to enable you to actually do that. And what you can see is that we're creating a very rough approximation of what this sketch area looks like. We can also then start to add in some of the hills and mountains as well, okay, because we've got the highest points up here, so we can actually add this in up here as well to actually show this off. Now they will give you a key to be able to do this, so that you can then actually show off all of these different areas very, very clearly. And you might get asked to put the heights on and anything. They can ask you pretty much anything they want to do, and it's all about just making sure that you are being as accurate and neat and careful as possible to ensure that everything is there complete. So you can see through my sketch that I've drawn there a rough approximation of what's going on. They'll probably give you a half completed one, and you then have to finish it off. So that's the first thing. The second thing they can ask you to do is they can give you an exam question like this. Okay, this I hope you've all seen before. This was on a January paper in 2012, I think it was, and they've asked you to do a couple of things, and they've given that there's no OS map that goes with it, but we don't actually need the OS map to be able to do this task at the moment. So the first thing they need to do is, for 4 marks, complete the sketch by adding the following features: the outline of Slapton Lee. Well, when you use the OS map, Slapton Lee is this area here, okay, and this area of water. So the first thing we need to do is we need to actually add in the outline of Slapton Lee. Now in the exam you're going to have everything has to be done in ink or pencil, so you just need to be making sure that you've got that in. So the line that I've just drawn there is going to be the outline of Slapton Lee, and we've then actually highlighted that off. We've got the other half of it running down this side, which is the bar, so we're going to highlight that down here, and you can see that it curves round, so we're going to curve that in like so. Okay, making sure that we don't cross the road which they've drawn on there. Now to really help this off, I would then actually label this so that you've got the two different features. And remember, I'm doing this with a mouse, so I apologise for this not coming out very well. So there's Slapton Lee, and then you've got the bar over here. Okay, so you can see those two features. Now the last thing they've asked you to do is highlight the car park and the public convenience. Now the car park you can see on the photo. It's highlighted here. So what you would need to do is you look at the key, and they've asked you to put the car park on with a P. So you need to just very carefully make sure that at the bottom end, and you're getting it on the left hand side of the road because that's where the key part of it, and you mark on the P like so. Now when you look at the OS map, the public convenience is at the other end, so all you then need to do is put the PC down here, and that has then covered up these two features, and it's then highlighted these two areas, and that's the kind of thing you're going to be asked to do to ensure that you get full marks on this kind of question. Okay, hopefully that's been useful to you, and you can now understand the kind of things you need to be doing.